And the part they cut out, and I have to put back in just for a moment because I told them to cut it out, was I graduated from this school 3 times. My bachelor's and 2 masters, 1 in human resources, 1 in labor relations, and I am proud to say that I graduated from the #1 school for human resources management in the United States. So, a few years ago, I thought about networking. What does it mean? 20 years ago, it meant cables coming out of the back of a computer. And 10 years ago, people thought of it in terms of, how do you get your next job? And unfortunately, most people, 90–95% of the world, still stuck in that thought of, how do you get your next job? It's all about getting a job. Well, I want to tell you 3 stories tonight that take you a little bit beyond that, and I want to broaden your horizon and help you connect the unconnected. And there's a lot of people out there who are unconnected. Story number 1 has to do with getting a job. I'm going to tell you about Linda and Dan. Linda was a technology recruiter who came to one of my events and did a wonderful job getting up and introducing herself to the audience. Unlike most people who don't do a particularly good job, so I was sort of enchanted. I went over and I talked to her, got to know her, found out she was looking for her next opportunity. Oh, well and good. That was a Wednesday. We fast forward to Saturday. Linda's not there, but I'm out on the field, the baseball field, with my 7-year-old son, whose best friend, Zach, he's out there too, and his parents are there, and I get to meet his parents. Well, Dan, I've never met before, sitting there on his BlackBerry. He's making phone calls. He's working like a dog. It's a Saturday morning. What is going on, Dan? Why are you working so hard? Well, it turns out he runs a technology recruitment firm, and he was short a recruiter, and he had to work extra hours just to fill all his requisitions. Linda had a job on Tuesday. Why did Linda have a job on Tuesday? Because, 1, she introduced herself really well. She understood the value of presenting and sharing who she was so she could, impress people like me so I'd remember. The other reason is because my son plays baseball. Hey, networking happens at very odd places, and if you want to get a job, it's going to happen anywhere for you, not just when you go to meetings and things like that. Now let's go to story number 2. Story number 2 has to do with, we take it outside of getting a job and go into the realm of being a more successful professional in a job. I've been a consultant as part of my career, and I go from client to client solving problems and helping them initiate things during that. And one of my clients came to me and said, we want you to roll out what's called a performance management system. Now most of you may not be familiar with it, but you certainly would be. And this is a process that typically takes from start to finish, soup to nuts, 12 to 18 months to do in a company of the size I was in. And I knew my contract was ending in 4. And by the way, they wanted me to do it in 3. I was successful. Actually, I missed the date. I missed it by 12 days. Sorry about that. But I rolled it out in 3.5 months. Why did I do that? Because I didn't try to solve the problem myself. I'd never done it before. I left my boss's office that morning, walked over to my computer, typed up a quick message, sent it out to this vast array of human resources professionals, and I said, guys, any ideas? And I let the power of the network help me solve that problem, implement solutions much faster than I could do it by myself. I'm a pretty smart guy, but I'm not that smart. I got the power of the network behind it. What a novel concept. So now, story number 1 is about getting a job. Story number 2 is about being a star in every job you're in, because you tap into the intelligence of the community and the experts around you. Now let's get away from that entirely. I want to introduce you to somebody. Not that ugly guy on this side. Top picture is my son Justin. He came into the story earlier, but this is earlier than that. The bottom child is his brother Jeremy. He's not in the story, but I can't leave him out. That's Justin at about 3 months of age. What a whiz kid he was for the first year. Sitting in front of a TV, we put him there, he would just watch TV shows, and he was focused, it was great. Give him a toy, didn't bother us for hours. Fantastic. What a genius. He was so smart, he could focus on anything. Didn't like giving up the toy, but what are you going to do? Well, 22 months of age, we put him in a daycare center. And a week later, the daycare center provider comes back and says, you have a problem. He can't be with other children. he won't give up anything. We can't break his train of thought. He doesn't want to be involved. You got to get him tested. Fast forward 4 months, because it takes a while to get this stuff done. And these state officials come into our house, and they test him, and they say, your son has learning disabilities, severe. He's in the spectrum. My wife is 5 months pregnant. Damn it. Everything we ever dreamed of was shattered. Just like that. Could have stuck our head in the sand. Could have denied everything like a lot of people do when they hear news like that. But you know something? No, that's not the way to go. Starts to grow up, but you can see there's something wrong. You can look in his eyes, he's not looking at the camera the way everybody else does. He's got issues. About a month after we heard the news, we said, you know something? The hell with you. They told us he'd never amount to anything. They told us he would live in assisted living. He'd never have a real job. He would never do anything of importance. And we said, the hell with you. So we talked to everybody we could. Teachers, doctors, diet people, people on the street, people in the supermarket. We talked to the world. How can we solve this problem? What can we do for him? We got him into special programs. We got him into a special school. We got him on special diets. And this kid started to grow up and get bigger and look at the camera. Oh yeah, by the way, they say he'd never be affectionate either. He got awfully affectionate. Justin became a top student in the school. He's 10 now, by the way, about to turn 11. He became a top student in his grade. He became a pretty good athlete, despite the genes. He plays baseball, he plays football, he plays basketball. He is almost a black belt in karate now. Does that look like a child with issues to you? What saved Justin's life? What saved it was networking. Was us, the unconnected, connecting with the connected. Those people helped us solve the problem. We solved the problem. We brought him everything he needed. Now we've turned around and we do that for other people in the community. We connect the unconnected. You can get jobs through networking. You can be a star through networking. You can save lives through networking. Talk to each other. Learn from each other. Not just in this room, but everywhere you go. You'd be surprised how many people you can help, how many people you can save, how many lives you can change. It ain't rocket science. You can do it. Thank you very much.